Merhaba, kamera arkasında bu hafta balta girmemiş Amazon ormanlarında dolaşacağımız The Lost City of Z filminin kamera arkasını seyredeceğiz. Bir türlü hayata geçmeyen, 3 yıl boyunca süren birçok belirsizlikle yapım sürecini tamamlayan film The Lost City of Z büyük bir keşif macerası vaat ediyor. Film David Gray'nin aynı isimli romanından Beyaz Perde'ye uyarlandı. Yönetmeni ve senaristi ise Two Lovers, The Immigrant gibi filmlerle tanınan James Gray. Başrollere Charlie Hunnam ve Robert Pattinson'ı aldığı yapımda onlara güzel yıldız Sienna Miller de eşlik ediyor. Filmde kaşif Percy Fawcett'ı Charlie Hunnam canlandırırken Robert Pattinson ise Fawcett'ın kaşif olan yakın arkadaşı Henry Costin karakterine hayat veriyor. The Lost City of Z, 1925 yılında İngiliz kaşif Percy Fawcett'ın tehlikeli uygarlıklar hakkında bilgi edinmek amacıyla oğlunu da yanına alarak Amazon ormanlarında keşfe çıkmasının ardından bir daha geri dönmemesini konu alıyor. Biraz filmin yapım aşamasından bahsedeyim. Mesela başrol Charlie Hunnam'a gelene kadar Brad Pitt ve Benedict Cumberbatch gibi isimlerden döndü. Dijital işleri pek az etmeyen yönetmen Gary ise kesenin ağzını biraz daha açarak filmini 35 mm kameralarla çekti. Mekan olarak Güney Afrika, Belfast, Kuzey İrlanda, Santa Marta, Kolombiya kullanıldı. Hatta Kolombiya ormanlarında yapılan çekimlerde timsahlar Charlie Hunnam'ı yalnız bırakmadı. Bu arada film gerçek bir hikayeden uyarlanıyor. Süper bir atmosferi ve aksiyon öğelerini içinde barındıran yapımı gelin yakından inceleyelim.
I wish to find a lost city.
Percy Fawcett was one of the most incredible explorers in world history, one of that generation of men who tried to fill in the blank space on the map.
Who would venture into these blank spots on the map, a little more than a machete, a compass, and an almost divine sense of purpose. And early on, he began to explore the Amazon in the early 1900s, which was really this large last blank spot on the map.
Initially, he went towards solving quite an important border dispute. The border between Brazil and Bolivia was, I think, written down on paper, but there was much dispute about where it actually physically was. So he was tasked by the Royal Geographical Society.
And so explorers were needed to get out on the ground, pound the earth and work out what was where and keep that business of auditing what is on this planet.
The environment's brutally difficult. Terrible disease, murderous savages. The journey may well mean your life.
The idea of doing what these Victorian and Edwardian people did is mind-blowing. They didn't know where they were going. They had inappropriate food which spoiled. They didn't know how to live off the land. They didn't know what things were safe to eat or not. And they were beset by diseases. And then the mental trauma, the emotional trauma of actually burying your friends, your companions along the way. On these expeditions, people died on the way. And that's something that I think if we go on little adventures nowadays, we can't even understand.
Amigo! Amigo! Amigo!
But the weird thing about Percy Fawcett is I'd never heard of him. And I love the history of exploration. I live for that stuff, and I'd never heard of Percy Fawcett.
He was once one of the most famous people on the planet. There was a time where people followed this journey into the jungle. It was one of the first kind of mass news stories. He inspired the character of Indiana Jones, but then gradually he kind of disappeared from memory. And I think one of the reasons he disappeared from memory was because there was kind of an assumption that, well, did he actually discover anything? And now we're learning today is, in fact, there really are these ancient ruins in the very place where he was looking. And then, in fact, in many ways, he was right and he was prophetic.
What's great about this film is it strikes me as it's a wonderful film. It's very accessible. Anyone will enjoy it. And also it remains true to David Graham's book, which is a phenomenal work of history, and it's an amazing story. Some of the depictions of his initiating first contact with previously uncontacted tribes in the Amazonian basin, I think that was a brilliant depiction of exploration in an era which just seizes the imagination.
I call it Z, and we must find it!
I wish to find a lost city.
What you seek is far greater than you ever imagined. It is your destiny.
Percy Harrison Fawcett was really the last of these great terrestrial explorers who would venture into these blank spots on the map, a little more than a machete, a compass, and an almost divine sense of purpose.
Amigos! Amigos!
When I couldn't get the film right off the ground right after I wrote it, which was in 2009, that only made me want to make it more. And in fact, I went off to do another movie after I wrote this script, and I couldn't shake it because he's a very compelling character and it's a very compelling world.
As I got deeper into the research of Fawcett and started to get to know him through the prism of my own experience and the things that I could really relate to, that I recognized in his struggle and his hopes and dreams and fears, I just started to feel this enormous sense of responsibility to play him authentically, or at least what I perceive to be an authentic representation of him.
He went to the jungle multiple times, also decided to fight in the Battle of the Somme in World War I, which is maybe the worst battle in the history of warfare.
I loved every second of being in the jungle. We found ourselves in a torrential thunderstorm with torrential rain, or we found ourselves in a scene which happened to me where I had a scorpion run across my hand.
What's amazing about Percy Fawcett is that he was once one of the most famous people on the planet. People followed this journey into the jungle. It was one of the first kind of mass news stories. People read about it in every continent. He inspired the character of Indiana Jones. There was a character in Tintin about Fawcett.
There is little doubt that I would worry night and day about my boys in the jungle. But we have never let fear determine our future.
She sacrifices everything for the people that she loves. She's completely heroic in my mind. As much as he was celebrated for his heroic acts, I feel like James and I really wanted to celebrate her for her resilience and courage.
If we may find a hidden civilization where one was considered impossible to exist, we may well write a whole new chapter in history. I call it Z. It is there, and we must find it.
Başka bir filmin yapım aşamasını anlattığımız kamera arkasında tekrar görüşmek üzere. Hoşçakalın.